Sure, Steve.
Terry, what impressed you most about Matt tonight?
Well, he followed the plan that certainly we talked about before the game, and that was he didn't try to overthrow. He used all his pitches. He commanded all his pitches. Everything we talked about earlier was, he executed it tonight, right to the end was, hey, look, go out and pitch, and he did that.
How different is his pace on the mound when he's feeling better like he is right now?
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. When you're trying to get the feeling back in your hand, between pitches, which happened a year ago, when you're feeling good, you get the ball and get on the mound. Especially when things are going good, you get in a rhythm and you just kind of stay with that.
Yeah. Who's next? James.
Terry, just over a month ago, I think early in spring training, when we first got into games, he was like low 90s, command wasn't there. Just, I guess, how impressed are you with the progress he's shown in a month, and then what is kind of left for him to continue progressing over the?
Well, James, obviously, you can't get caught up in what you see, especially in the beginning of spring training, because there's so many things that go on, throughout the spring. But what we were hoping to see is that there was more arm strength coming, which we've seen. And once we started seeing the arm strength coming back, now the next thing was the command of his pitches. He's got an outstanding slider. He's got a tremendous changeup, and he's got to move the fastball around. And so we're looking for that next stage to be able to locate those pitches and to pitch both sides of the plate. And when that was coming, you're just saying now, hey, look, you got to be patient because it's all falling into place. And we don't know what certainly what the ceiling's going to be, but. We say it about a lot of guys. This guy's a special guy, and I think if anybody, you're going to look up hopefully in the middle of summer, and he's going to be back to where he was. Now, is he going to be throwing 98 again? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I think Matt Harvey can pitch as good as anybody when he's at 93 to 95, and he showed it tonight.
You're over here. Richie?
Yeah.
A little more offense tonight. Is this just kind of a result of playing a few games, getting more under routine?
Well, I hope so. I hope that's what it is. And, we've got to get some at-bats under our belts for guys and in game situations. Up until, last night was the first night game we've played since last October. We didn't play any in the spring. We didn't play any when we got here until last night. So, there's a lot of dynamics that go into it that these guys fall into routines. And hopefully, as we get into the next few days, they kind of settle in and we start to see some more offense.
Who's next? Richie.
Terry, you talk about that, and just trying to follow up on that. Wilmer Flores hasn't had a lot of plate appearances. He comes in against the lefty tonight, and he's such a viable option against southpaws. Can you talk about, as a young player, how you kind of grip that opportunity and how he's done that?
Well, I'll tell you, Rich, I'm gonna give it all I'm gonna put it all on Wilmer. He came up here and he was an everyday guy. And 2 years ago in 15, he was the shortstop for most of the season, playing every day. Then a year ago when we got Cabby, he was relegated to a backup role, and and you knew he wasn't very happy about it, and he shouldn't be. To be honest, he shouldn't be happy. He should want to play every day, which he does. But what he did? He grasped the opportunity to say, "Hey, look, I got to make a difference here. I got to hit left-handed pitching because that's how I'm going to get in the lineup." And he worked at it. He worked very, very hard at it. And when he's in there, he knows he's got to do damage. And you look at those numbers he's put up against left-handed pitching; they're really incredible. So I salute him. I think this is how he approached it and said, "Look, I'm going to play. This is when I'm going to play, and I got to get my chance and make the most when I get those chances." And he's done that.
Yeah, David.
Terry, as Matt is pitching the way he is, and you guys are still struggling to score, between the tension that's building up with you and the rest of the guys, what kind of relief with Darno getting the big hit there too? How badly did you guys?
Yeah, that's a big hit. But I think, David, it's we use the term very a lot, but it's so early, and we're just, right now the focus is on Matt pitching well tonight. I know you guys wanted to see how he was going to do. We wanted to see how he was going to do. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow night. The offense is going to come. I know that as I'm sitting here, it's going to come, and but that's why we've got to make sure our pitching gets going, and that's why I thought the biggest issue tonight was Matt, coming back and pitching as well as he did. We were looking at 85 as tops tonight anyway for him. He's coming back with 4 days rest in his next start, so that was a big key. But obviously Travis's hit, kind of took the let's relax, and we scored some runs. Now let's go finish it off, and those add-on runs, became very important also.
Get back over here.
Terry, your thoughts on how Bruce has played so far this season?
Jay Bruce, he's played
Jay
great.
Bruce.
I think he's showing you guys that he is who we got. That's exactly what he told me in spring training. I'm the guy you traded for. I had the worst month of my career last August or September, and I'm a better player, and he's certainly shown that. His discipline at the plate is very, very good, and I think he's going to drive a lot of runs in. And as we know, we're going to start putting guys in spots where they're going to produce runs, and we got to certainly take a look at him.
Jerry?
Terry, just taking a step back, given the severity of Matt's injury, how big really was this start for him to get it out of the way and come out of it with such a positive mindset?
Jerry, I think it was huge. And this game is about confidence. And, Matt came into spring training and, his first couple outings, he threw okay. He didn't throw like everybody has seen him in the past. No, he's not coming back. He's done. And I think, I think Dan and our coaching staff did a great job of making sure that there was a process that he had to follow to get to the point where he did to tonight. And he bought into it finally. Each bullpen, he seemed to have a little bit better. Ball came out of his hand a little bit better. And, the slider was a little bit crisper. And I think he started, all of a sudden, he put a smile on his face. And as we left camp, that confidence was there. And now I thought tonight, hey, look, we got to apply it. And against, their middle of the lineup's pretty dangerous. And I thought Matt maneuvered it very, very well tonight. And so we'll just hope that we continue to grow as the summer goes along.
Yeah, Mark?
Yeah, you talked about confidence and leaving with a good feeling. Is that why you pulled him there? You said you had him for 85. I think you pulled him out for 77 with 2 outs in that inning. Is that just trying to make sure it was going to
Yeah, I mean, if Markakis gets on, I got to go get him anyway. Because he's going to be at 82 pitches. And I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to go any farther. I'm not going to get the next guy in a big jam. So let's just let him leave. And again, Mark, a lot of it had to do with, a guy like Syndergaard. He had an extra day. Matt's not going to get an extra day. He's got to come back on 4 days for the first time in 8 months. So I just thought it'd be smart to get him out on short and make sure he has enough rest for his next outing.